It seems as though everything tends to boil down to motivation. The reason we do something, the reason we don't do anything, the reason we work hard and put in extra effort, or the reason we take a completely different route. But how do you quantify how much motivation will actually be needed to successfully complete a task? And how do you know that you will still be motivated when you are halfway through the said task? What happens when life happens? When something unexpected changes your mood, changes your situation, or even changes your health? Will motivation to stay on track have anything to do with your state of mind then? Hello, Howl family. I'm Prince Kerr, the voice of HC, and I make videos touching on topics of self-improvement and how to overcome challenges on life's journey. Like and please subscribe to this channel for videos like this one weekly. So let's talk about the elusive phenomenon known as motivation. Are you not tired of always being so close to success? I'm talking about every single time things appear to be going great, you just stop and become complacent, and then end up losing what you have to some degree. Sometimes we get so ahead in a project or on a goal, but then we lose that motivation to continue, and our minds find ways to accept complacency instead of continuing to push through. On your journey, you will quickly come to realize that if you only do things when you feel motivated, it is almost impossible to be motivated consistently over a long period of time. Let's say your goal is to, lose 30 pounds, and you started your journey because you looked at yourself in the mirror and you weren't happy with what you saw. You will quickly realize that although you were very motivated at the beginning, it may not continue after you lose 5 pounds and 10 pounds. Maybe you just don't want to work as hard anymore, or maybe you see the change in your body and say, I can live with this, so the goal never actually gets accomplished. This concept of motivation impacts you when you want to actually succeed at long-term goals, because there will be times when you don't feel like doing anything at all. Then that could quickly spiral into self-deprecating thoughts and even develop into self-esteem issues. Let's say you get halfway to your goal and you become very proud of how far you have come. So proud that you start to bask in your success and start to feel like, man, I don't have to continue working this hard. It's nice here. So you become content and as a natural reflex, start to fall back into habits of old. And then you find yourself in a worse position than you began because now not only are you back where you started, but you are aware of how much hard work it took to get there in the first place. And because you have become so used to being content and complacent, it is that much harder to go again. So you start lying to yourself instead of actually trying again, in attempts to convince yourself that you are just as good where you are than where you have ever been. And you can see how this line of thinking can go further and further, affecting how you see yourself and how you live your life, all because you lost motivation. On the journey of life, I found that the solution to motivation is not a motivational speech. It is not something bad or a shock happening to you that will spark long-term consistent action. It's not a personal trainer or a motivational coach that will keep you motivated long-term. Rather, the solution is simple. The solution is actually discipline. To be disciplined is to follow through with your goals, regardless of external factors swaying you, and irrelevant of how you feel that morning. You will quickly learn that in life, you have to choose between two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. What I've learned on this life journey is that yes, it's fun to be motivated. It feels good to be pushed or propelled by an outside or internal force, and to feel confident and excited to continue striving forward. But we probably should not rely on motivation to get things done, because motivation is like a battery. The more you use it, the more the energy depletes. And when that battery is out, it does not mean that the task is complete. Think of this like taking a speedboat across a lake. If the gas runs out or the engine gives out halfway on your journey, that does not mean that that is the destination and you have arrived. It may just mean that it's time to take out those paddles and start paddling. You may not want to paddle. You may have expected to get on the other side with the help of the engine. You may even be so tired and so annoyed. You may have thought that you checked the gas and the engine was working fine and what is going on. But when it comes down to it, it's either you paddle or you're stuck there in the middle of the lake. Discipline will hop out of bed even when you want that extra 5 minutes. Discipline will have you complete that work even when you could have possibly put it off to tomorrow. Discipline gets the job done, especially when you don't feel like it. So that you can walk that extra mile, push that extra weight, or do that extra day of research when everything in your mind and body is telling you to stop and satisfy with how far you've already come. How I overcame this is I was having a conversation with a friend who told me about a state of mind that long distance runners reach after running for a long period of time, which is usually anywhere above 25 minutes, and is characterized as the flow state. In this state, apparently, you could just run forever because your mind releases endorphins, which reduces your perception of pain and also triggers a positive feeling in the body, similar to morphine. So I told myself, if they can do it, I surely can. So I got on the treadmill and committed to running at a moderately fast pace for 1 whole hour. And at 10 minutes, I wanted to give up. My motivation was completely gone. I kept telling myself, why am I doing this? I don't need to do this. Okay, I get it, I'm in shape. Can we go do something else now? I'll lift weights, I just don't want to run. But I just watched myself thinking this. My mind was actually working against me and telling me, begging me to just take a break. But then discipline was telling me, no, let's keep going. We committed to this goal, now let's do what we came to do. And lo and behold, my mind started to quell down after some time. I reached 30 minutes, then 45 minutes, then an hour, and I was so in the flow that I kept running for about 10 minutes even more after the hour was complete. Motivation gave up on me when I was not even 25% through my run. Discipline kept me up and at 'em all the way through. Transform your life by not letting anyone trick you out of your blessings, especially if that person is you. Your mind may work against you on this journey, but that doesn't mean that you have to satisfy with where you are. Motivation is a scam because motivation does not always last. Therefore, it cannot promise you the progress or the success that you seek. But let's have a conversation about it in the comment section. Do you think that motivation is enough? By the way, I'm going to be starting a personal channel where I will touch on topics like this one, but also do reaction and lifestyle videos where you can journey with me on my life journey. The link will be in the description. I'll see you on the next episode of Conversations on Howell Consultations, the how-to being true to you.